Teen realizes he was dating a sociopath. A sociopathic killer.
Not all there.
Yeah, I don't think she's as mentally all there, but
You want to sit down?
Ugh.
Say this. Progress in Alameda, car into a building. Two are deceased in the vehicle. Daughter's driving. Who died?
Southwest Dispatch.
Yes. Are you familiar where Progress coincides with Albion Road there in Strongsville?
Yep.
There's a car that's smashed up against the building.
It's a building.
On the morning of
What?
July
Why don't you just drive
31st,
into that bitch?
2022, the Strongsville Police Department responded to this shocking 911 call.
What?
Inside the car were three teens returning from a house party. The responders who arrived at this horrific scene could barely fathom the extent of the damage. But little did anyone know, this reckless driving accident would reveal the most terrifying murder plot in Strongsville history.
Duty.
Holy shit, look at that car. God. Oh my god. Why I feel like I've heard of this story before, like on TikTok. I might have seen a little TikTok about it. I feel like I've seen this before. Like, not the video. Like, I know I've never watched the video, but like a little TikTok movie of it. Probably like when it happened and shit.
Send us some squad now. We gotta bust the window out. Send us some more units.
Any more units to Progress?
This is not a fresh accident either. She's been here for a while. Radio, we got at least 2 occupants in here. No one's moving. Oh my God. Oh my God. Times 3, guys. Radio, 3 occupants.
You can feel the shock
Jesus
and
Christ.
disbelief in the officer's voice.
Yes, I know.
As they waited for the paramedics to arrive, they ID'd the owner of the car, who was also unconscious at the wheel.
Oh my God, dude. Who can hear my voice? Driver's radio. The driver is breathing, unconscious.
Not good, not good.
Jesus.
Let's your knife. Let's cut this thing out.
This is bad, guys. She's alive. We got to get her out somehow.
The driver was 19-year-old Mackenzie Shrilla, a Strongsville high school celebrity. Mackenzie was really into social media, earning her the reputation of a social media influencer among the teens in Strongsville. Her Instagram was packed with lifestyle
Damn.
photos, and her TikTok
be like,
was
yeah, I'm
full
not
of
trying to go like
trendy
you,
fashion
actually.
videos. She shared every aspect of her life for the world to see. Now, initially, many thought that she'd end up like a typical Strongsville High student, a high achiever in a traditional career. But Mackenzie chose a different path.
Oh, jeez.
As she gained fame, she became a fashion icon at her school. It was clear that she
How
was
do you
set on building
got a lot of
a
weight out
career
of
as an
school?
influencer.
Shit, when I was in high school, they were.
But as
they
of
was like, there
now,
was something
she
around
was
that.
found unconscious and presumed dead behind the wheel. Well, that was until this happened.
How the fuck did she
Sorry,
survive
we're
that?
good to try to get her out. Oh, dude, I don't know if we can.
How is she still alive? You see how that car looked? Motherfucker said it was split into 2.
Start looking for a wall.
She's breathing. She's breathing. Her head's wedged. Let's see if we can get some IDs, guys. She's breathing. I saw her stomach. Her stomach's moving. Look. We got 2 that are gone.
Oh,
Mackenzie was still
God.
breathing, but her body was wedged under the dashboard. With the help of firefighters and medics, they were able to rescue Mackenzie and transport her to the nearest hospital. The investigation of what happened that morning started as soon as she arrived at the hospital. But before any hard questions were asked, the officers had to do the hardest part of their job.
Yikes.
Brothers, stay hidden. They're coming. This road is eerily quiet
So,
today.
she must have just, like, driving that far into that road.
Okay.
I don't even think you can that even happen if you're that high? Because she had to go, woo, keep on driving straight for a good little minute to get right into the wall or right into a tree over there.
Oh. You want to sit down? Way to say this.
Kinda like
Progress
a
car into a building. 2 are deceased in the vehicle. Daughter's driving.
Who died?
I don't know whether there's one that we don't know. His name's Jacob. Does anyone know Jacob?
Dom?
No, stop. Let him talk.
Guys, I know we've been dealing with this. Your
shit.
daughter's okay. She's talking to us. I talked to her. Okay? Your daughter's alive. Okay? Your daughter's alive. She was driving with you. Okay?
Who's that? Jacob and who?
What's the name you said?
Dom?
Might be.
Oh my God.
Stop.
The other passengers were Davian Flanagan and Mackenzie's boyfriend, Dominic Russo. Any follower of Mackenzie's social accounts would know about her boyfriend, Dominic. He came from a very well-off family. So well-off that he lived in the house next to his parents' house. Dominic was gold.
Huh? I'm sorry, you had your own house and lived right next. I'm not trying to get off topic, but oh my God, your parents get to that bread. I was like, but you know how crazy that? I gotta hear that again, because you know how fucking crazy that sounds?
Came from a very well-off family. So well-off that he lived in the house next to his...
So well off. Okay, no, the house doesn't look the nice, but it might actually, yeah, no, shit, I'll take that, baby. What talk about something? Looks like it's a big ass garage right there. Yeah, you know how parents are gonna be like own 2 houses just for you to live in?
his parents' house. Dominic was goal-oriented and hoped on becoming a rapper one day. Basically, he was the perfect package. An ambitious young man with great looks. So, even with the 3-year age gap, you could
Great
tell
looks.
the 2 clicked immediately.
2-year age gap.
Some might even say that they were inseparable. In the back seat was also Dom's friend, Davian Flanagan.
Rest in peace.
Davian and Dom were childhood buddies who bonded over their love for songwriting and music. Davian loved rapping and was popular around school as the team's star football player.
Damn.
Telling parents that their daughter is in critical condition in the hospital must be tough. But telling parents that their beloved son died in a car accident is beyond soul-crushing.
Yeah, oh God.
All right. Well, just so you know, obviously, Officer Laraconda, this is Father Joe.
Okay,
He's-
Joe, where are you? Oh, well, he's
St.
from.
Joe's in Strongsville.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm
yeah.
also the chaplain for the police and fire department.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
So, unfortunately, there was an accident, okay, involving Mackenzie, Davion, and who we believe is Dominic, is the 3rd person.
An accident?
A car accident.
What?
Okay.
Where?
Last night.
Wait. Wait.
Just
don't-
relax. Just hold on. Just put
Holy
stay
shit. Yo, I just said, yo, I just felt chills go through my whole body when she got up. I just felt chills go through my whole fucking,
Just stay
So wait,
Just hold on. Just
holy
listen,
shit.
listen.
Yes, take a deep breath.
Christine, look at me.
Yeah, that's good. Okay.
So,
Jesus.
You know what time it happened at?
no, we don't. Right now, it's so early in the investigation that we don't know. What we do know 100% is somebody called it in. Somebody passing by called it in at around 6:15, 6:30.
Called in, what, the car was just smashed somewhere?
Yeah. So what it appears that happened is they were going westbound on Progress from Pearl Road, and they went.
Right here in Strongsville?
Yeah, in Strongsville. That business that's right on Alameda, right where Progress ends, that's dead ends right there. They hit that building. They hit the sign out front, and then they hit the building.
Would they fall asleep at the wheel or something?
Don't know.
We don't know that.
Yeah, cause like
So
she like only.
Kids are dead. My son's dead, another kid's dead,
Go
and
ahead.
the girl's in the hospital.
she's in surgery right now.
Oh my God, huh, Chris?
Yeah,
Meanwhile, police officers were
Jesus.
busy searching the car in hopes of finding clues about what could be behind such a horrific accident. The result of that search was the discovery of several drugs and accessories. Naturally, the most reasonable explanation for the accident seemed to be drug use. However, little did anyone know that the truth behind the accident would be much more shocking. The investigators were shocked by the horrific condition
Jesus
of the car.
Christ, look at the car. How did she survive that?
The damage was extreme, unlike
Yo, how did she
anything
survive that?
typically seen in a DUI
Look at the fucking
case.
car.
The
Oh
front of the
my.
car-
Yo, how fast do you need to be going to get a car to look like that? Yo, how the fuck did she survive that? She was.
car was totally obliterated.
Jesus.
So to make sense of the situation, the police called in a forensic mechanic to prepare a detailed report on the car. The detectives also knew a few things about Mackenzie's background at this point. Trying to be the most popular girl in high school can make you a lot of enemies. The detectives were wondering, perhaps a mechanical failure had caused the tragedy. Now, while the investigation was ongoing, Mackenzie was in recovery. As soon as she was conscious enough, she posted a selfie from her hospital bed. That post not only garnered a lot of support from her friends, but also a lot of new followers. When detectives interviewed Mackenzie, she claimed that she blacked out behind the wheel and couldn't remember what had happened. It was tough.
I'm not surprised that you don't remember. Like, I mean, yo, you don't see that
anything
car?
else out of her, as she had just lost
Yeah,
a
come
boyfriend
on.
and a friend. She couldn't attend the funerals for Davian and Dominic, but was clearly grief-stricken, spending her days lying in the hospital bed, hoping for recovery.
I do wonder how it's gonna turn to them, you know. Like
Meanwhile, the investigators tried to make sense of the case by interviewing family members, friends, acquaintances, and basically anyone who knew those three. With these interviews,
Yo,
the
what are they
detectives
wearing?
got a deeper perspective on Mackenzie and Dominic's relationship.
What was your relationship like
Mackenzie's
with her?
friend.
Did you talk to her?
In the earlier years of their relationship, we were like much more close. She would like come to me with a lot of stuff. And there's many times like they were having issues even years ago where Dom would want to break up with her or something, and it wouldn't be like that simple. It'd be like, you know, like from time to time again, it almost like she'd have like issues, you know, like self-esteem issues, like she'd get crazy about stuff, like accuse him of cheating and stuff when he's not, you know what I mean, stuff like that. And just then for a while, you know, I would talk to her, and you know what I mean, then it would be like not constant, but there'd be like every like week, like couple weeks at one point, or like week or so, where they were almost breaking up, and then she'd be threatening to hurt herself. And this is back when she's in probably 10th grade, like she's still a sophomore. Dom's like a junior or senior or whatever, you know. And like
Senior.
stuff would arise, and it would like never really take like a healthy course, to be honest with you. And over time, my relationship with her really subsided. I stopped talking to her. I stopped like really trying to be there for her, because ultimately I just seen that she was very, very selfish.
What's alarming is that he saw how toxic their relationship was from the very beginning. She was selfish because Dominic was popular and had many new friends, which made her jealous. Instead of hiding her jealousy, she would intentionally stop Dominic from having fun unless she was included.
For me,
What?
you know, like there's
Can
two
you not
types of love
watching?
that you give somebody, and it's like I love that person unconditionally, and I want to see them prosper and be happy no matter what that entails for me. And there's a type of love that's selfish and restricted, and I want them all to myself. And that was Kenzie with Dom. It was the latter, not the first step. There was times where, even in later years, where, you know, Dom's old enough to like, you know, like he wasn't of drinking age, but he can go to bars and hang out and stuff, even though he couldn't like drink and stuff. And there'd be times, you know, that one of my friends, because I'm 23, would be having a birthday party, and she would like forbid him from going, and it'd be all just my buddies, you know, because she'd be like, oh, there's probably gonna be girls there. Well, if it's a bar, there's probably going to be girls there, yes, and there's probably gonna be men there. It's gonna be it's a public place, you know what I mean? But she got weird over him going to public places, would like a lot of stuff. But
Okay.
all of that stuff like led me from distancing myself from her because
I don't think that's what he asked, bud.
became a thing where I couldn't help her in my eyes because she was always stuck on like a selfish path, like wouldn't like listen to me or take my advice, you know. And even even in like the aspect of like it's better to have loved and lost and never like loved at all, you know. She never got that.
Now, Dominic obviously tried to break it off a couple of times, but it was the craziness of Mackenzie that sort of obligated him to make up. This craziness was something even Angelo was aware of. By the way, if you're finding the video interesting, please make sure to hit that subscribe button.
No,
it
facts.
really supports the channel.
Go and subscribe. You know what I'm
Now, let's
saying?
dive back
Subscribe,
in.
like the video. But my video, my video,
You mentioned that.
my video.
Anytime
no.
Dom would kind of want to break up with her, she kind of go crazy. Describe crazy. Like what kind of crazy?
Like there is times where she called Dom and said, "If you break up with me, I'm going to."
Oh wow, that's wow.
Word for word. And then Dom, he was a very, very selfless person, and he did like obviously like they were together for a long time, and they built like a relationship, and they cared for each other deeply. You see what I'm saying? And even though Dom did care for her deeply, I'm not disputing any of that. But he's seen all the toxicness that she was putting onto him, and every single time he would try to distance himself like from that and say, hey, we could be friends, this and that, blah blah blah, still here for you, like you know, but like I want to break up or whatever. She would say stuff like that.
So how do you know that? If you don't mind me asking. So she told you, or
she's
just
told me, he's told me, they both told me.
Okay.
Both of them confided to Angelo about the relationship. Dominic cared deeply for her, while her jealousy and distrust poisoned their relationship, making it toxic even in front of their friends. Now, while all this questioning was still happening, Mackenzie was still in the hospital. On her hospital selfie post, she started to get offers from different modeling agencies.
What's on our website and emails, so make sure you're credited with it. Plus this coming up.
And for someone who had just lost a boyfriend, she seemed a bit
Coming up, lots of work if you guys have any videos.
too excited in her comments. Within a month of her boyfriend's death, and while the investigation was still underway, she was back to living her bold life, just as if nothing had happened. Now, it's too early to point fingers, but to the local community, that felt very insensitive. And when the detectives reached out to her ex-boyfriend, Tyler Proctor, they realized that it wasn't new for Mackenzie to act like this.
How long were you guys in a relationship?
Oi! Fuck! Ah!
Well, we were all friends in a friend group at first, and Joey dated her first.
Damn, this bitch is getting passed around.
And then I ended up dating her for a little bit, like probably over the summer. I was only dating her for probably like a month and a half or like 2 months, and then me and Dom, she was cheating on us basically, but it wasn't like anything official, so it wasn't no hard feelings. Like whatever happened, I just kind of was like, after me and Dom found out about that, we had no problems with each other and nothing, but it was kind of like a lot of feelings and stuff like that. Like, why didn't you tell Dom? And Dom would ask her like, are you leading him on and stuff like that, and she would just lie to him. And then that's basically it with that. I don't for like 2 months, and then after that, like they were on and off, and I kept on talking to her still while they were on and off, because we were all still in the friend group and stuff. So, and then we kind of just like stopped being intimate, you know what I'm saying? We were just friends around 16, I think.
He claims that Mackenzie was very frivolous and not exclusive with him.
Frivolous. Oh, she was
And
getting...
after the
Oh, she
cheating
was slut?
fiasco, he just ended things with her. After which Dom became her new boyfriend. But in their short time together, Tyler knew that he had to back out before things could have gotten much worse.
So, describe the relationship. What was she like as your girlfriend?
I mean, like, she's kind of just like how you would explain any girls, really, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're all over the place in some ways, and, like, they don't know what they want.
You know what I'm saying?
And, she would say stuff like, towards the crazy side. Like, I remember conversations with her when she couldn't, like, decide what she wanted, like, between me and Dom, kind of. She would be like, she's like, oh, I love Dom so much, this and that, but, like, he's mad at me for all of this, and I'm just like, well, yeah, like, why wouldn't he be, like, you need to, like, just go stay with Dom, because I'm not going to be with you no more after this. Like, I'm cool with just keeping the friend group as friends, because I don't want to mess up the friend group. I was like, I don't got no problems with you or anything like that, we can also be friends. Like, you need to go talk to Dom about, like, your personal issues and stuff, because that's your relationship with him. Like, and she would tell me, like, how she, because we all obviously smoke weed, but she would say stuff like, I don't even get high anymore, stuff like that, because how much she smokes. And I was basically like, I didn't really have much with her relationship-wise, because we didn't date that long, but, like, friend-wise, like she was crazy.
What Tyler said next really changed the detective's perspective on who Mackenzie truly was.
She would be like this.
She, like, mentally just not all there?
Yeah, I don't think she's just mentally all there. Like, I personally feel like she was trying to kill herself in that crash, and she failed on doing so. But I feel like, and I feel like she had no regard for Davion, and I feel like they got in an argument, her and Dom, and she threatened to kill him.
Had she ever threatened that before?
She hasn't ever threatened to hurt anyone, but she's threatened probably, like, she hasn't, like, physically said, like, I'm gonna kill myself, but she's, like, you know what I'm saying, like, made it to the point where
alluded to it?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, like,
No, I'm saying.
like, I hate life, like, shit like that, and, like, but we were all obviously, like, there for her, still trying to be friends with her and stuff like that, but our friend group probably fell out with Kenzie around, like, after 10th grade. And that's kind of when, like, all of us stopped being friends because her, we were all cool with her still. Just because she's so, like, crazy, she'll blow everyone's phone up, she's all over the place with everything, and then she's just in general, like, kind of a shady person. She's like a snake, like, she'll go and talk shit to everyone about everyone, and then, like, you know what I'm saying, she'll go talk shit about me to someone else, and then she'll go talk shit about that person to me, you know what I'm saying? But she would do it with everyone. She went through multiple friend groups because of the type of person she was. Like, she doesn't have no regard for other people.
At this point in the investigation, the detectives received the forensic mechanics report of the car and the CCTV footage from the street where the accident occurred.
Jesus.
According to the report, the car had a speed range of 93.8 to 100.0 miles per hour in the approximately 4 3/4 seconds leading up to the crash.
Damn.
The mechanic testified that the car's accelerator pedal was fully engaged before the crash. So with that combined with the CCTV footage, this case began to look very, very bad for Mackenzie.
Fuck. Oh, that's crazy, bro.
Turning off of Pearl Road onto Progress Drive. No indication of DUI or reckless driving. But from the CCTV footage collected from Progress Drive, we see the Camry heading full speed towards the intersection of Alameda Drive. And from this camera, you can see the intersection, the point at which you have to slow down and then turn either way. But instead, this happened. After these two key pieces of the investigation, we are left wondering why Mackenzie would do such a horrific act.
Holy
it's one thing to be obsessed over a boyfriend, but there has to be something more than that.
Yeah.
It had to be something so devastating to her that her only way out was to crash into a brick wall.
If she was, like, that could have maybe even been avoided too, or, like, I just don't understand why she would, like, they let her get that fast. I don't know if Davion and Dom were tripping, and that's why they couldn't prevent the crash. crash or something like that. So like that's just like why I don't like. I just smoke weed now. That's it.
He's being honest.
So you think an argument happened in the car?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, you know all of them.
From Dom and Kenzie's relationship, like they were just always arguing. She was just that's just how they were. And like me and Joey had always talked about it. We're like, bro, Dom has so much going for himself. Like, why does he stick with Kenzie? Like, he can do so much better. Like
So,
Dom is an intelligent person.
Explain something to me real quick though. They get into an argument. Okay. They argue. Why drive the car into the building?
That's why I feel like she was trying to kill herself, and she wasn't really necessarily trying to kill them. I feel like she was trying to kill herself, and she just had no regard for Davion because of just how she is. Like that's just what I.
Are your friend group or maybe some high school kid? I mean, we've spoken to many, but those this is the consensus that she tried to kill herself.
I think the consensus is that she did it on purpose. I don't think people know why.
That's what people think.
Yeah, people think that she crashed off. Like at least in our friend group, kind of like that's we don't really know exactly what happened because we don't know like if she tried to swerve or anything like that. But like we like when it first happened, that's definitely what everyone thought was she was trying to do it on purpose. Like that was the first thing that went into everyone's heads is like she had to have been trying to kill herself when she did that.
During this investigation, Halloween came, and Mackenzie the influencer was out and about living her social life. But on Halloween, a day when you can dress like anyone, Mackenzie chose to dress like this. This was Mackenzie's TikTok of the night, which was followed by dozens of pictures of them going around town looking like corpses. Now, while many argue that she was just out having fun, the choice of dressing up like a corpse is still incredibly insensitive.
I see what you mean.
But to top all of this, to top the evilest of evils in this situation, she posted TikTok number 3, which exposes not only her insensitive nature, but also her devilish intent. This TikTok shocked everyone, especially Dom's and Davion's parents, who stopped being sympathetic to Mackenzie after this. They just couldn't believe how she could think to make such an insensitive post. It was now clear to the investigators that Mackenzie had evil intent behind the car accident. Right after this TikTok went live, the investigators started wrapping up the interviews to reach the obvious conclusion. But little did they know, the last interview that they had planned would provide enough evidence in this case to lock up Mackenzie for good.
So, do you remember the incident that I'm about to ask you about where you picked him up from the highway?
Yes.
Okay. That day, what do you remember? Where were you when you got the call? Who called you? And what did they ask you to do?
I was actually at Christine's house. We were sitting around. She had just came back. She was sick. She got out of the hospital and wasn't feeling well. Dominic called her, and he was upset. She was like, "Well, where are you at?" And he was like, "I'm driving in the car with her." And he was like, "I just want to go." He was like, "I don't want to be around her anymore. I'm done." So she was like, "Well, do you mind going to go pick him up?" I said, "Not a problem." So as I leave her house, go to the highway, get on the highway, and I call him. I said, "Well, where are you at?" And she was like, "I'll crash this car out." And I'm like, "Dude, what you mean?" I'm like, "Dominic, just tell her to pull over. Like, I'm right behind you guys, so just pull over and stop, and I'm right here. Like, I'll be there in 2 seconds." So I hop on the highway. They were more down towards the Pearl. I get on at 82, and they were more a little bit past the Pearl exit right there. And it was raining. So as soon as I pull up, she's just going like this, and he's trying to get out the car. And once he get in the car with me, I said, "Dude, you don't have to deal with this. You're young. You got a long life to live. You don't have to deal with no chick in her attitudes, whatever. If you're not happy, just let her go. You know what I mean? If it was true love, she'll be back." But yeah, we got in the car, and he was like, "Man, I just can't deal with, she don't want to listen. She drives."
Yo, that car is so far.
You don't have to drive with her. You have your own car. And just let her go about her way. Take your time away from her. Get yourself together. And he was like, "Yeah, I think that's gonna be the best thing to do."
If it wasn't for Dominic's panic call to his sister Christine, who later called his friend Christopher, this fatal accident could have happened a week earlier.
When you were on the phone with him, can you clarify again what you heard her say over the phone?
She said she'll crash this car right now.
You heard her say that? Okay. And so they pulled the car over. Were they on the right side or the left side? Do you
Right
remember?
side.
Right side.
Yeah.
So
Right off the berm.
right off the berm. So did you get out of the car, or did Dom just come back to you?
Well, I was starting to get out the car because I seen her just going over, grabbing him and swinging at him.
So she's swinging at him, reaching over. Okay.
And I started to get out the car, and then I seen the door open. He jumped out. I said, "Well, come on, dude, it's raining. Let's get in the car.
Okay.
We're out of here."
And so when you guys left,
Oy.
where was she?
She was still in the car.
Still in the car, still at the highway? Okay.
During the investigation, detectives examined Mackenzie Shirilla's iPhone and social media accounts. What they uncovered offered a disturbing insight into her behavior and character.
What they find?
Investigators organized these findings into key themes, which would later reveal crucial details about her involvement in the deaths of Dominic Russo and Davian Flanagan.
I found something I was never supposed to touch. No label, no manual.
Fuck you.
A series of videos and photos taken just hours before the fatal crash showed Mackenzie smoking a THC pen. One particularly telling image was of her flipping off the camera, which she posted with a defiant message. While investigators didn't find anything explicitly indicating what was to come, the tone of these posts foreshadowed her lack of responsibility and care. In the aftermath of the crash, you would expect Mackenzie to be devastated. But what the investigators found was upsetting, to say the least. There were 126 videos and photos taken and shared after the accident, even while she was in the intensive care unit. Despite her injuries, Mackenzie continued posting pictures of herself in casts, keeping her social media presence alive. The investigators were shocked by how quickly she resumed her online persona, as if the deaths of her boyfriend and friend were just a small bump in her life. This behavior added to the growing belief that Mackenzie lacked remorse and empathy for what had happened. Another damning discovery was 136 videos and photos of Mackenzie engaging in reckless driving, road rage, and distracted driving. One video showed her driving at 90 miles per hour through a suburb, while others featured her filming herself as she smoked marijuana while behind the wheel. This pattern of reckless behavior clearly wasn't a one-off. It was part of her everyday life. She frequently filmed herself while speeding or engaging in dangerous driving stunts. Investigators noted that her attitude behind the wheel seemed to align with her overall disregard for the consequences of her actions. The investigation into Mackenzie Shirilla's Snapchat also uncovered that Mackenzie was actively using a fake ID to purchase alcohol, often flaunting this fact on her social media. Investigators found several videos and photos showing her proudly displaying her fake ID as if it were a badge of honor. In one instance, she even showed herself successfully purchasing alcohol with it. For Mackenzie, having a fake ID wasn't just about getting access to alcohol. It was a status symbol, something that boosted her image among her peers. Upon examining Mackenzie's Snapchat, detectives pointed to potential involvement in sex acts, possibly for money or other benefits.
1K pick, 2 bands to link, 1K for... Doing me, it's getting... Send me a band and we can link up, whoa.
Investigators scrutinized over 31,000 pages of text message exchanges between Mackenzie and others, spanning from January of 2020 to July of 2022. They were looking for signs that Mackenzie might have been forced into these activities. But what they found instead was that Mackenzie seemed to engage in these acts voluntarily. For instance, on January 25th, 2022, Mackenzie sent a message where she talked about getting a quote-unquote sugar daddy and quote-unquote selling feet pics as a way to make money.
Fix this or be really
In another message
dead.
from March 5th, 2022, Dominic Russo accused Mackenzie of allowing someone to perform sex acts on her feet for money.
Yeah, you let a dude fuck your feet for.
Message where she talked about getting a
Oh, don't tell
quote-unquote
me you
sugar daddy and quote-unquote
I'm talking about like do like a camera, like a video, like you was watching the video, you
selling feet
Why are you
pics
trying to
as
tell
a
me
way
he-
to make money.
just let a guy
In another
fuck your
message
feet.
from March 5th, 2022, Dominic Russo accused Mackenzie of allowing
Yeah, you let a dude fuck your feet for money, like sex.
someone to perform sex acts on her
What the
feet for
fuck?
money. Mackenzie defended herself,
Oh,
saying that they were broken up at
man,
the
I
time,
know
and
I
it was,
bet
and
you-
I'm
fuck
quoting,
you.
just feet.
They were
This type of
Show.
conversation repeated.
Yo, my girl, let's say, yo, my girl. I don't go fucking one together. You tell me, yo, no, not yet. Yo, my girl tell me they're just. What I'm gonna do the fucking people money. Hang on for you. Literally let her sell your body. Let her sell you. Do you think about it more than I? It's not prostitution. Hold on.
Itself in several exchanges, with Dominic expressing disapproval and Mackenzie continuing to downplay the incidents, suggesting that she saw them as trivial or harmless. The last section of the investigation reveals key insights into Mackenzie Shirilla's drug trafficking activities documented in her iPhone Notes app. In one of the most critical notes, Mackenzie meticulously recorded the sales and profits related to her drug trafficking.
Some drugs?
This shows a clear and organized approach to her illegal business. It was more than just casual drug use. Mackenzie was deeply involved in selling drugs and kept a ledger to track her business. Another note appeared to be a personal list, possibly for a birthday or Christmas wish list. It included luxury items such as Balenciaga shoes, Yeezys, makeup, and quote-unquote weed socks.
What's weed socks?
The list also included labeling herself a quote-unquote lean enthusiast,
Homophobic.
complete with a heart emoji. The investigators now
Wait, am I
have
allowed
a
to say
full
that?
case against Mackenzie Shrilla. A case
Hold
which
on,
compelled them to
I'm
believe
sorry.
that this reckless
I don't
driving
know.
accident
I
was
don't
no
know. I'm
accident.
sorry.
It was first-degree
Please
murder.
don't make me. I didn't know what I was saying. What's going on here?
Hi, Mackenzie. Step out for me. I'm Detective Jesus. I'm the one who's been investigating the crash. You're under arrest for aggravated murder ×2, okay? Nobody's gonna ask you any questions. Nobody's gonna bother you. Can I have your key, please?
Could you please be careful taking this one off so it doesn't break the bracelet, please?
You got it. You got it. No.
Thank you.
You got it.
On August 14th, 2023, nearly a year after the incident, a bench trial took place. The highlight of which was Mackenzie's lack of remorse.
Hi, there is Dr. Chad Walding, co-founder of Native Path.
That
We
don't
look
fucking
at
moving.
collagen differently than
I
other
lied.
supplement companies.
Oh, let me just put my hand back.
I think the defendant has shown a shocking lack of remorse, Your Honor.
Well, that's how much she did it, but.
We
Damn,
think that
yeah,
she
oh,
has
fuck, I see what you
continually,
mean.
Put forward that this was an accident in spite of the fact that the evidence is in direct contradiction. Your Honor, you were on Progress Drive. You saw the evidence that was displayed in court. And Your Honor, we think that you are the person who is in the best position to decide an appropriate sentence. We have full confidence in the sentence that you'll give, Your Honor. Thank you.
The defense, of course, countered with their belief that Mackenzie grieved over Dom's loss in her own way.
Yeah,
For Halloween, for 3 months after the accident, she would only wear his clothes. She would only eat the snacks he ate. She would only listen to the music he wrote, okay? She was laying in bed for 3 months crying.
Damn,
because
but
she died of a
okay,
next to her.
I'm not defending her, but you can't look at a 1, 2, 3 minute video of TikTok and say she's like Like, for all we all know, she could just be trying to look strong, and then off camera, she's like, balling her eyes out.
Photos and
No, I'm not saying
things
that's what
that
she
he
did.
liked, and this flower that lights
You know,
up that
she
he
really
got
might
her
not
because
be
he
a
wanted
kid
it
at
to
all. Just saying
be
that.
fresh and alive
You
forever.
can't
It's
just
like
look
a
at a
little
quick little TikTok.
beauty
Like,
beast flower.
think,
Okay, she's got this shrine of him next to her. So she was crying for 3 months.
Oh my
So her
God.
friends asked if she wanted to go out trick-or-treating or to Halloween, and it was at OU. And she didn't even want to go. She said, I don't know, should I go? She couldn't even walk yet, barely. So I told her, I said, baby, please go. It's Halloween. You've been laying for 3 months crying, only listening to his music. Please,
Is that Paul
just
Heyman?
a moment of fun. A moment of fun. So we told her to go. My husband drove her. I brought her back home. She just needed a second of fun from losing her whole world. Her whole world. So that was us. We told her to go. And that concert she went to with Dom's cousin, Abby, they picked her up. They brought her there. That was Dom, Mackenzie and Dom and Abby all decided to go to this concert together while they were in the hospital. That was for Dom. Everything she did after the accident was either in honor of him, to be close to him, or just to be by him any way that she can.
While that was touching to hear, it still didn't mean that she could dress up as
Fuck
a
her.
drug or a corpse for Halloween.
That was a drug?
That in no way showed that she was grieving over Dom. Shrillo was charged on several counts, including 2 counts of murder and aggravated vehicular homicide. And on August 21st, 2023, Judge Nancy Margaret Russo sealed her fate.
So she's sentenced on count 2, the murder of Davion Flanagan, 15 years to life. She's sentenced on count 1, the murder of Dominic Russo, 15 years to life, to be served concurrent to each other, with credit for time served. I'll waive fines, fees, and costs, and your appellate counsel will be assigned. Are there any questions from the state?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
The Shrilla family still believes in her innocence. And while her defense argued for leniency, citing her young age and the tragic nature of the event, the prosecution could not get over her lack of remorse and the premeditated nature of the crash. The most chilling part of this is that the third passenger, Davion, had no reason to be a part of Shrilla's murder plot. He was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now, if you think this case was horrific, well, you
the fuck that just click?
Somebody.
Threatening to hurt herself.
She
I didn't know that could happen.
took place. The highlight of which was Mackenzie's lack of remorse.
We think the defendant has shown a shocking lack of remorse.
Nancy, the Shrilla event is that the third passenger, Davion, had no
Peace,
reason to be a
Damien,
part
and
of
rest in
Shrilla's
peace,
murder
Dominic,
plot.
man.
He was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now, if you think this case was horrific, well, you need to check out my video on the reject.
Do not take a joke and bring it up to someone. Oh, that. How I would explain the GOAT debate. Hold on, I'd be forgetting to end the video. The video, bitch.